Did somebody say pork chop sandwiches? In today's video, we are going to review 25th anniversary Blowtorch. Now, I'm very much a big fan of G.I. Joe. If I were to show you the shelf, you can definitely tell that I am. Now, this version of Blowtorch looks quite nice, quite colorful. But due to this figure coming out in 25th anniversary, there are certain problems that are practically universal to this entire line. 1. Free posed hands. This was a plague, practical plague amongst a lot of these figures. You could not really pose figures the way you wanted to because these pre-posed hands got in the way. For example, yeah, you could pose them like this. That's one posing you can get. You couldn't really do anything with the figures. You could try to make him hold it, but his problem though, it is very janky. That's the best you can get of it. Now, the figure still comes with some accessories. Of course, the flamethrower itself, the hose, the fuel tanks, and the backpack itself. This is removable. I believe this is supposed to be like some sort of a control panel. The figure itself is quite nice visually. And it has a removable mask like the vintage one. Quite nice. This plugs into here. And a removable helmet like the vintage one. Now the figure looks spot on to the cartoon model. Quite impressive for the time. And this is also removable, but it's only removable on the Pursuit Cobra version. So that's the 50th anniversary version. I believe the other ones too, but yeah. You can tell that this figure has it's weird. It likes to lean this way. I don't know why. This is a universal problem with any figure that shares this mold, where one leg's shorter than the other. Or it's because the leg physically cannot bend for that much. Unlike this one, it can. It's weird. The articulation on the figure, it's standard for the time when it came out back in 2007, a long time ago. But it's somewhat limited due to the armor. No, it doesn't rotate, but yeah, it is like somewhat limited. But it's still quite nice. But I can't kick that far due to the butt. Legs bend quite far. There's some articulation in the ankles, but it's very limited. But also, I don't know why, the neck is at angle too. Like, why? Cause the neck being at an angle. He's always like tilting his head. Like, you can try, but if you do it any further, it'll probably break. Yeah, this figure is very problematic. It does the job of like being a good display toy. But wow, this is like an awful toy. Like, it looks cool. Like I do like Blowtorch. I always want Blowtorch, not because of pork chop sandwiches, but also just because the character was fun in the cartoon. I liked the character. And it's a decent attempt, but it is very like problematic. It's very not so great. But it is like a good update to a figure that, you know, needed something after all the years. Also, odd enough, the finished one is technically more articulated due to it not having the 25th anniversary problems. which is shocking. But yeah, the figure is quite nice. I do have the other like 50th anniversary Blowtorch, but right now it's on my shelf, a little bit far away. But yeah, it is exactly it's almost 4 inches tall. It's quite small, but also pretty big compared to like a Star Wars figure. You guess like Grand Admiral Thrawn. Yeah, it's quite big. Because those are all 3.5 inches, if I remember. These are 4 inches, and because of that, a lot of vehicles from the vintage toy line cannot fit these figures, which is a shame. Which is why they also keep on making updates to fit the modern day figures, like the his tanks and everything else. And I'm glad I own this figure. I wanted it for like a very long time. But yeah, it's kind of a iffy figure, to say the least. It's good for like standing there, but it's pretty awful to pose with. It's if I were to like give a numbering system, I'll probably give it a 7.5 out of 10. Due to this figure looking really good, but it is so limited in its articulation due to all the random like things that 25th anniversary did. Of course, it was like their first like modern day type of deal where they're going with this stuff, like going for like the Star Wars stuff where being all realistic and everything on like J.J. was stuck with toy, but for all those years. But yeah, it's a good update. That is my review for 25th anniversary Blowtorch. I do recommend it if you want a Blowtorch, but it is a very meh figure. Hopefully they do update it with Hi Toys making G.I. Joe figures, apparently. And hopefully they make a version of Blowtorch that's much more articulated than this. Because this is a very meh figure. It looks good, but it's meh. Like and subscribe if you enjoy my content. That is all.